Okay, so you should have read instructions on not giving up, this poem on page 14 and 15 of your workbook. So we're going to talk about figurative language or elements of poetry. So we have talked about metaphors before. Metaphors are when you compare two unlike objects or ideas. They're two very different things. We've talked about similes. Similes are the same thing except you compare two very unlike things using the word like or as. Okay, that's a little bit easier to tell because of like or as. A third thing we're going to talk about today, and we've talked maybe a little bit about this, is personification. And personification is when non-living objects or things are given human traits or human characteristics. So I'm going to reread this poem. And again, I have already read this probably 5 times, just so I'm going to be able to read it more fluently. And I'm also going to just understand it a little bit better. So while I'm reading this, because you should have already read it at least once, I want you to pay attention for metaphors, similes, and personification. And then also over here I have theme. What is the author trying to tell you? Or what are they trying to have you do? What's the big idea? All right, so just listen as I read. Instructions on not giving up. More than the fuchsia funnels breaking out of the crabapple tree, more than the neighbor's almost obscene display of cherry limbs shoving their cotton candy blossoms to the slate sky of spring rains. It's the greening of the trees that really gets to me. When all the shock of white and taffy, the world's baubles and trinkets, leave the pavement strewn with the confetti of aftermath, the leaves come. Patient, plodding, a green skin growing over whatever winter did to us, a return to the strange idea of continuous living despite the mess of us, the hurt, the empty. Fine then, I'll take it, the tree seems to say, a new slick leaf unfurling like a fist to an open palm. I'll take it all. Okay, so if you want to pause right now and see if you can find at least one metaphor, one simile, one personification before I start talking about it. Go ahead. So pause it right now. So I think the simile is probably the easiest to find because of the word like. Let's see if this will highlight here. Oops, it's not what I want to do. Okay. So, like a fist to an open palm. So in that one, what is like a fist to an open palm? Okay, a new slick leaf unfurling, like a fist to an open palm. So if you think of fist, that kind of shows roughness, like, oh, I'll show you. Well, the leaf is saying that. I'll take it. Opens it up, like, I'll take it. Okay, so that right there is our simile. I don't think there's another simile in there, unless you can find one. Okay, personification. Did you find anything in there where a non-living object is doing something that people do? Cherry limbs shoving their cotton candy colored blossoms to the slate sky of spring rains. Okay, cherry limbs are shoving. Well, cherry limbs, tree limbs, they can't really shove. So that is personification. And what is that showing? They're shoving their cotton candy colored blossoms to the slate sky of the spring rains. It just means that they're blossoming. Okay, they're shoving their blossoms. Okay, so that's personification. And then there's quite a few metaphors in here. So when you're comparing two things that are very unlike. Okay, one thing I found was, I underlined them here, fuchsia funnels breaking out of the crabapple tree. Okay, fuchsia funnels. Well, fuchsia is a color, right? Or then the fuchsia funnels breaking out of the crabapple tree. So the fuchsia funnels are being compared to like the blossoms and the leaves. Another one I saw was patient plodding, a green skin growing over whatever winter did to us. Okay, what's the green skin growing over whatever winter did to us? Okay, it's not really a green skin, right? So it's the leaves starting to break out and return to a strange idea of continuous living despite the mess of us. Okay, so basically winter is changing into spring. Okay, there might be a few more, but I just wanted to review metaphor, simile, personification. Okay, so in personification, clue is person. So if a non-living thing is doing something a person can do, that's personification. Okay, so after reading this, instructions on not giving up, the theme. What do you think the theme is? Not giving up. It's kind of a clue. Do you get a good feeling from this poem? Is it kind of a happy feeling? Is it, is the tone sad, angry, happy, joyful? Hey, Bobby. Hey. So, a couple things that might kind of relate to. Winter is over. Here comes spring, kind of like we are in right now. Everything's starting to, well, not quite yet, but soon things will start to get greener. The leaves and the blossoms will all start to grow. It's giving us a good, happy feeling. Okay. Feeling of hope. Don't give up in hard times. The mess of us, the hurt, the empty. Okay, in wintertime, sometimes we get kind of low and that feeling. So don't give up. Keep grinding away, kind of like we are right now with this virus thing. So this poem should give you kind of a feeling of hope. Sometimes can be tough, but if you hang in there, it'll get better. So if you thought the theme had something to do with that, you were right on.